How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Great Game of Thrones Live, the spoiler cast where me and Ellen get together each week to talk about the latest episode, talk about all of the cool shit that happened, our thoughts, theories, all that kind of stuff. As always, pre-warning, spoilers all the way through, so if you haven't seen the episode yet, go watch that first, then come back.
Exactly.
I'm joined, as always, by Ellen. How you doing, you okay?
Hello. Yep, I'm good. I'm good.
The way we kind of did it last week as well is rather than going scene by scene, we kind of grouped the stories together. So I guess we'll continue doing that because that seems an easier way of doing it. Because like we open with the wall, and then near the end there's a bit with the wall, so we'll just sort of like we did like we did last week. We'll chuck those bits together.
Yep.
Yeah. So we'll start with that.
Yep.
Yeah. So what happened with the wall? Sansa meets Littlefinger, and I actually thought he was. I don't know about you, but like the way he acted, his acting performance in that was really weird. Like he kept pulling really strange facial expressions. It really put me off.
Yeah. Personally, I feel like his acting's got a little bit off over the past couple of seasons, and his tone has gotten a lot deeper. I don't know if this is trying to like portray some kind of like I don't know, kind of domineering characteristic, but it was a very odd scene where he didn't. This kind of weird disconnect in a way because she's asking him to acknowledge the fact that she was raped by her
Yeah,
husband
and
multiple
that he
times. Yeah.
knew that was gonna happen.
Yeah,
Like he was
pretty
willingly
much.
giving her over for that to happen.
Yeah, pretty much.
Did he knew
He
that
knew.
he of course he knew.
Yeah, he knew.
Yeah, that happened, and Sansa basically said "fuck off." And then, as Littlefinger left, being Littlefinger, he said, "Oh, by the way, the Tullys will help you if you want to take Winterfell. Okay, bye." Just
Yeah,
like
but
worming his way in, like because he knows what he's doing. I still don't know his end game. I guess Warden of the North he was, but
I guess so. But it just.
not
I don't
playing it
know.
right, is he?
No,
I
he's
don't
definitely
think.
not. He's pissing everybody off.
Yeah, pretty
It
much.
seems it's making everybody angry. It made her angry, especially like the one person I guess he didn't want to make angry is
Exactly,
her, and
especially
he
if his
definitely
plan is to
did.
make her his waifu.
Yeah.
Control the North that way, like yeah, that's gone out the window.
I
uh,
wonder if he still wants her to be the waifu. That would be interesting.
And then towards the end of the episode, we had another scene with the wall where Sansa and John meet up and they talk tactics with Davos and Brienne. And best bit of the episode. Like, there's some bad
With
bits, but the
Tormund.
best bit is where Tormund gives her the look. That was like the
That was
best
a
bit of the
mess.
episode.
She looked so disgusted. It was amazing.
Just like if you could see skin crawl.
Yeah, it was this very like
They're
poor
gonna
moment
be.
where she's like, I don't think so.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Gonna do all the moves.
I love that. But yeah, they got together to talk tactics, and discussing like which houses they think help them and what how they should go
Who's gonna?
about it sort of thing. So they're basically now. It's like I feared that they're gonna push this battle back further and further. They're gonna spend a bunch of time now chatting with people on whether they'll help them or not. Basically,
Yeah, because they're gonna make their way down to Riverrun where the Tullys are, and that's gonna take a couple of episodes. I assume so.
yeah, I
And
reckon
then
so.
if they don't get ambushed,
So that's kind of all that happened with them, and Sansa made John a pretty jacket with a wolf on it.
he did. She did. It was very pretty and very much like his father's, I guess. Well, exactly almost.
That happened. So that's kind of all we got with the wall. Um, then we'll do the Iron Island stuff.
Yep. We'll move on to Eileen's gonna move on to Pike. So at Pike, basically, it's time for them to decree, I guess, who's going to be the next ruler. And Yara steps up and says, I should be ruler. I have taken you on many a journey and protected many of you, and I'm the rightful heir. And people kind of say, well, Theon should be the heir because he's the remaining male heir, and then he backs her up. And then, of course, out of nowhere, comes their uncle, Yaron, who admittedly, in front of everybody, says he killed their father because he was useless. And
As you said,
he
he's a
should be the
twat. I'm sorry I didn't kill him sooner.
Yeah.
Was basically his
Pretty
words.
much. Yep. And he's like, I should be king because I've been out on ships forever. I will build the biggest army, and we'll go and find Daenerys. I will marry her, and we will take this Iron Throne together. And they buy into this. However,
Who's
not all of them.
like a load of shit because they would not stand a fucking chance. Their best hope is just to, ally with Jon. Hope that Sansa, because Sansa and Jon are now together, take Theon back with the extra people. That's all they can hope for. They've got nothing by themselves.
Pretty much. I mean,
I know.
well, she did. I mean, at the end, when they're declaring him the king, she's taken off all the best ships and all the best men. She's taken the entire fleet.
Yeah, and what the last thing he says is build me 1,000 ships. And what I thought might happen is and Daenerys have a ship battle.
They could do.
Do you know what I mean? They go to naval warfare. I'm sure he makes in the episode. He makes a.
Well, he says basically he'll convince her that she needs him with all those ships because she's looking for an army.
Dothraki will stab them in their face. Yeah,
Yep.
or the dragon will just fly over all the ships and burn them. That's also a possibility. So yeah, now Yara and Theon have done a run. I really don't know what they're gonna do next. I have no idea where they'll go.
I think they're going to flee to Bravos, probably. It's the closest rather than going to the... Yeah, because technically going to Westeros is not the best idea for them because if... Let's just say that Ramsay figures out that they're back, right? Because he's got friends everywhere.
Yeah.
They're, in big trouble. And then they don't even have friends in King's Landing because they attempted a takeover of some of the northern cities, so they can't go east to Westeros, so they can't go west, so they have to go east. They're gonna have to go somewhere to Bravos or somewhere around that region because there's no allies for them.
So do you think they're gonna try and get on Daenerys' good side?
Quite possibly. I think they've got a good chance, especially because Yara is a extremely strong person. And also Yara doesn't her main goal
I don't see what their
isn't
end
to
game
take
is.
the Iron Throne. Her main goal is to make her
From the
people,
Iron
strong
Islands.
again.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much, in order to make them somewhat be able to, stand on their own 2 feet, and their focus shouldn't be so much on trying to take small towns.
Yeah. So do you think that we're going to get a meeting between Yara and Daenerys, and Yara's going to say, will you help me fight my uncle, kind of thing?
I wouldn't be surprised
Then you can have
if
my
Yara
ships,
makes it.
or something like that.
If she makes it to Bravos and then makes her way to Marine and then bargains the ships for ability to take back the Iron Islands from the uncle, and then there's the naval warfare between the uncle, Daenerys, and
It sort of makes sense, I guess. I feel like that story arc is now a bit in limbo. I don't see what its relevance is to the grander picture.
I guess it's because we need the ships. There's been such a huge emphasis upon we need the ships. I don't know if we really need the ships anymore. We need the ships to get the army there, but nah.
I know. I'm not sure. This is why they come up with this shit. But
yes, exactly.
But I don't see that storyline where they can take it. We'll see.
We'll see.
So, seeing as we're over in Bravos, little bit with Arya. There's another Rocky montage scene. Getting her ass beaten with Sight now.
Yeah.
Her friend.
By the wife. Yeah, her friend. Very, very loose term friend.
And
who seems to have it out for her. Really doesn't like her. Like, it's gone from this kind of you're a person who is down on your luck and I'm just going to try and push you to be better, to like this idea of like she actually really doesn't, the wife really doesn't like her.
And Arya's given her first target, or well, it's not her first, is it? Her second target, I guess.
Yeah.
She's given a second chance to go and basically she has to go scope out her next target, who's this actress. So she goes and she watches the play that she's currently acting in, and it's a recreation of what happened to in King's Landing in series 1 with King Robert being killed by the boar, and then Ned supposedly trying to take the Iron Throne for himself. We know that's not what happened. And all this, and basically the play is making a mockery of the Starks.
It's making a mockery of her dad or her sister. And making Joffrey and Cersei out to be good people.
Irony.
Oh, the irony. And Tyrion is also kind of like positioned as a very awful person as well.
Yeah, he is.
And quite funnily enough, I mean, I don't know if you noticed this, but in the books, Tyrion is described as being quite disfigured in his face.
Yeah.
And obviously, like, I don't know if it's just CGI budget, but also probably, I'm assuming that, you know, they can't have, I mean, Tyrion, they don't want him to look incredibly
especially in every
throughout the
single episode. And
yeah, especially if he's in every single episode. So they've kind of, it looked like they took
taken
very much
liberties
cues
with
from
it,
the books.
kind of thing.
Yeah. He looked more like his description in the book in the play, which is interesting.
Scar down his face and all this.
Yeah, and his big nose, yeah.
And so she goes backstage to sort of get a bit closer to this actress she's got to kill, and she seems to quite like her. She doesn't seem like a bad person. So
No.
when she goes back and reports on what she's found and says, why am I murdering someone who's not a bad guy, basically.
And, Jaqen basically says, you do what you're told. That's not
paid the big bucks to kill whoever, really.
Yeah.
Basically, so that's the general gist of it. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe she will bottle it. I don't know. See how that goes.
Maybe. We'll see.
So there's a bit with Daenerys and a bit with Meereen. We'll sort of group those together. Daenerys has her first moment of downtime after, taking control of the Dothraki. And Jorah reveals he's got the grayscale, like he shows her arm, and it's gotten a lot further up than what it was last time. And
It's gotten a lot worse.
He was ready to say goodbye and said, "Look, I'm gonna just go kill myself now before I turn," sort of thing. And she said, "No, I command you go find a cure." So off he goes. Basically,
We won't see him for the rest of the season, I don't reckon.
No, probably not. If at all, ever. That may well be his last scene. We don't know, do we?
Quite possibly.
Because that's presuming maybe he's gonna go to one of these red priestesses and maybe they'll cure him. Maybe.
Possibly, maybe. Yeah, I mean it's not impossible.
Just going off of what happens with in Meereen, Tyrion and Varys meeting with the red priestess. I can't even remember why they met with her in the first place, to be honest.
It was a bit of a... I'm kind of over these scenes where they're strategizing. They're a bit empty, to be quite honest. They're not very well written, but in my opinion. But there's this kind of idea that for some reason they think that they need to have someone who is impartial to, the plight of the slaves and the plight of the masters talk and speak on behalf of Daenerys in terms of her motives, and they need someone to trust. So they choose a red priestess, which I don't know. I mean, like, I know that because I've seen that this religion has the law, like, kind of spread definitely to Marine. So I guess they're hedging their bets. But she seems, I mean, Varys is very right to like kind of accuse her of being untrustworthy because of all the bad kind of prophecies that her fellow, priestesses have also made concerning Stannis, who got his head chopped off. And
Yeah,
I mean,
they don't have the greatest track record, do they?
no, I personally, she seems incredibly shifty.
Yeah,
I wouldn't trust
that's
her as far as I can
intentional.
throw her.
I think
Yeah.
that's intentional.
And she kind of says to him basically that she knows what happened to him and she called out to him basically from the fire and that she knows him and is looked after him. That's what she implies very much so.
So she talks about the time when he got his knob chopped off and said that she knows and all of this kind of thing, and like the look on Varys's face means he's like suddenly, wait, what? Like,
Yeah.
He's
genuinely shocked, yeah.
So that's quite interesting. I was more interested in that than all of the Tyrion crap. Like a bit of backstory to Varys is nice.
Yeah. Varys is a great character. That's
underused so far. It's all been Tyrion so far.
Yeah.
Varys has done. He had that one scene with the like the Sons of Harpy.
That was a good scene.
Yeah, so that's kind of all that really happened over there. So I guess we'll get on to Bran.
Beyond
I guess the focal point of the episode, really. All of the most important things came from his storyline, and it's so weird that I never thought, like around season 2, season 3, would say that Bran was the most important character.
Yeah.
How things change.
How things change. And also, so Beyond the Wall, so he's continuing his little journey into the past with the Crow, and he sees how White Walkers were originally made by the people of the forest, basically. He witnesses his friend, I guess you would say, who's part of the Children of the Forest, plunging the obsidian into the heart of I assume, maybe a person from the Night's Watch who has fled or been misled. And once she plunges into his heart, he becomes the first White Walker, and that's how White Walkers are made. They were made by the Children of the Forest, and she says very vehemently to him, because you guys were trying to kill us, basically.
Yeah, it's your fucking fault, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
But then I think they kind of acknowledge that it all got a bit out of hand.
Yeah, I think they did.
So we basically wanted to get one to tell you off, but then suddenly there was an army and they were...
Yeah, because they learned how to self-replicate. Because they obviously couldn't control them anymore.
Yeah, so now we know exactly what happened. First White Walker was a man.
Mm-hmm. And was made by the Children of the Forest. Was made through magic. So if they can be made through obsidian, they can be unmade through it.
That's what I was going to say. Because they were stabbed by like the dragon glasses, is obviously that's how you can kill them.
Yep.
Why you can kill them that way. So we found out about the first White Walker. He sees first time unaided, I guess, and he walks straight into the middle of the when he already sort of sense his presence. That's a super clever thing to do. He walks up to the king, like their leader, and turns around, he sees him, and then he's like, oh shit, because the whole army just stares at him, and then he touches his arm, and then he jumps out of his vision. Now they all know where he is.
And the Crow basically says, you're basically fucked and you have to leave now.
All your fault. Well done.
Yep. And here's all the memories and everything you need to know, and it was just kind of this very. He's like, I'm not ready. He's like, no, you're not. But
That was your own fucking fault, innit?
yeah,
Basically.
pretty much.
And then what
Yep,
leads after that is just honestly like
mayhem.
the whole rest of the episode sort of knocked me for six.
Yeah,
Like,
it's super sad.
ugh.
It's just like, cause like Hodor.
Found out how
So
Hodor. Like we've got like. Do you want to say your theory on? Do you want to sort of say what happened
yeah.
with Hodor?
So like basically they find him very quickly, and his friend Mira, who's been sitting there looking after him, is like she senses that there's something wrong, and she runs out and sees all of them, and is like, "Oh crap, we're in big trouble." And they try to fend them off. Doesn't quite go so well, and there's this moment of incredible panic where she's like, "You need to do something," but he's stuck in this dreamlike state. He's obviously stuck in a vision, and he somehow summons or forces Hodor to go into action and start helping them getting out. And in this whole kerfuffle, lots of the White Walkers are coming down, trying to kill the Crow, trying to kill everybody, and then some of the white the head of the I guess the army, some of the White Walkers make their way into the cave, and a fight ensues. A lot of people die. A lot of the children of the
Crow
forest die.
dies.
The Crow dies. He is stabbed by the king. And
Worst
Mira
bit.
actually managed, yeah. And Mira actually manages to kill one of them with a spear. And then, in the process of Hodor trying to drag them out with Mira, Summer, which is, I think, the second to last remaining direwolf.
The only one who's left is Ghost now, innit, I think.
Yeah.
I
Sacrifices
can't
himself.
even.
Yeah.
I
it's
like when that scene happened. I thought I don't know if I can. Like the noises and stuff. Like I just can't. Don't do well with animals in shows being like hurt. And
Yeah.
even when you don't see nothing as such, it's just implied. That's bad enough
Yeah.
having to see Shaggy Dog's head.
That was.
That was bad enough. Like
Yeah.
Summer's
Yeah.
done.
Yeah, pretty much. Yep. And then
Then it gets
we
worse.
kind of, yeah, then it gets way worse. And so, like, I said that I thought that something really terrible had happened to Hodor with the Starks when he was younger. Like, somehow they got into a fight. But it was way worse than that. Where Bran, through compelling, I guess through mental strength of some kind, compels Hodor to keep the door shut and keep the army from coming. And he just goes into shock in the past where he's compelling him to do this.
Saying to him is hold the door, and he just
Yeah.
says over again, hold the door, hold the door, hold the door, and then it just shortens into Hodor, and that's
Yeah.
how it becomes that's the only thing he can say.
Yeah.
So the Bran has gone back and affected him in the past, and that's obviously affected his entire future. He doesn't even realise. See, like I always originally believed it was that Hodor was he had the gift too, but obviously the reason the Crow was interested in him is he knew that he would be needed to save Bran's life.
Yeah.
So sad. And it has
It
made
is so
Bran
sad.
the biggest fucking dick on the show now,
Yep.
because I hate him more than Ramsay now.
Yeah.
Genuinely.
And he knows he's like done a terrible thing. Like he
Just sacrificed Hodor, and he's ruined Hodor's entire life. It's not just he's said, sacrificed him to save himself. He's ruined his entire life.
Yep. This very awful kind of Back to the Future moment.
Yeah.
Where like the past affects the future in a terrible way. Yeah, I was just so sad. I was just like, this is so sad, especially because like Hodor's become like a figure, I guess, of like
To help
goodness.
everybody.
And, like,
that's all he ever
yeah,
tries to do is help everyone.
and he understands to some extent what's going on, so it makes it like tons worse. Just yeah, that scene was just so hard to watch. I was like, oh, this is just so sad. Like,
Not even that just Hodor dying would be bad. Ferocious.
Yeah.
Fuck Bran. I hope he gets stabbed in the face. Honestly,
Probably.
bollocks to him. I don't care if he's supposedly the saviour and all this. Fuck him. Got the dragons. Fuck him.
Yeah, pretty much.
Ugh. So, overall impressions of the episode. What did you think?
I thought it was really good. I thought it was really quite well written. The only scene I didn't like was the scene in Marine. Because
Yeah.
I just thought it was incredibly forced, but that's how I feel about
Tyrion's
every scene in Marine.
got to get his air.
Pretty much.
It's like I said before recording. You know what it's leading up to. Get an entire episode of Dawn because it's in it.
Mm.
Entire
Don't even
60
wanna
minutes of Dawn.
think.
Something to look
I don't
forward
even
to.
think about it. Oh,
If that is true, I'll
No.
literally just not watch it and
yeah.
I'll just pass. Thanks.
There is nothing interesting about Dawn. They serve no purpose but to annoy everybody else.
They're just
That's
going to be an
literally just,
ally
like-
to someone, aren't they? They're just going to.
Probably. In the army, yeah.
But yeah, it's funny how like at the start of the last two episodes,
Mhm.
So I don't
Yeah.
know if they'll keep this. Because I feel like the stuff with slow right down now.
Yeah,
I
it is.
think the stuff with John is going to slow right down now.
Definitely
let-
pick back up again, I reckon.
I don't know. Maybe not straight away though. 'Cause you still got to get back to Marine and that as yet.
True, yes.
So I don't know about that's maybe. And then unless we get the Walk of Shame thing going on at King's
Mm,
episode, and maybe Arya carry. We haven't got.
Yeah.
I don't think we've got much.
no,
You know,
No.
you never know with game.
that's very true. Maybe we'll see some more Yara and Theon, maybe.
Oh,
Possibly.
we'll
I
definitely
don't
see
know,
them.
maybe
I don't think anything big will.
big will happen, yeah.
I mean,
And you know
Sam
what
was in
we're
it as well. Like,
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say Sam, we've gotta I'm assuming we're gonna go back to Sam at some point.
I mean, he was in it for like 2 seconds.
Yeah. Well, his purpose is secondary to everything else right now.
It really is. I mean, what's he gonna achieve from being a maester? Like, how's that gonna affect everything in the grand scheme of things?
Yeah.
He's a pointless character, I think. Just in general. Unless he can convince his family to go and help John. If that's a thing that might happen. Other than that, I don't see any point to him being in it at all anymore.
Yeah.
That's that. Done. Like,
Yep.
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He serves no more purpose in the story anymore, I don't.
He's supplementary to everything at the moment, yeah.
Yeah, I think overall that was a good episode.
Yep.
And that, as good as last week's. But like,
Yep.
there was a very, very sad bit, but it was still.
It was very good.
So, thanks everybody for watching the show. If you got any thoughts on the episode, any like theories and things, let us know in the comments. There won't be an episode next week for episode 6, so maybe episode 7 we'll do like a double.
Yeah, we'll do it.
We'll do like a mega episode and cover both.
We'll do that.
Right, well, thanks for watching. Hope you guys have an awesome day, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks, bye.